What's up, YouTube fans? Today I'm going to be reviewing the Hasbro Titans Return Autobot Rewind. Now, I got this figure. It's obviously not a masterpiece figure, but I did end up buying the Titans Return Autobot Blaster, and I kind of needed a companion to go with it. He doesn't have any cassettes that he comes with. He just comes with a little insert. So we're going to be obviously showing this side by side with Autobot Blaster and kind of comparing him and seeing how he fits and all that kind of stuff. But for the box, you do get this card, sealed on the card. It obviously says works with Autobot Blaster. And he has 3 modes here. This is kind of new for Titans Returns line. This figure usually only has 2 modes, robot mode and tape mode. Well, now he's got spy tablet mode, so he's not a tape anymore. I guess he's entered the 21st century. He's a vehicle mode, or a little tank, which I think is actually kind of cool looking. And then you got rewind. And one of the things that right away is probably going to bother me is the hands, but let's take a look. And it says it transforms in 12 steps, so it's a pretty easy transformer. So we'll get this guy out of the package and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got this thing out of the packaging. Hasbro tends to over package their stuff. It just had a ton of those little twisty ties holding him in there. But something I do like is they started taping the card onto the box, so you can just cut the tape along the edges and open this up without having to rip the box. And you get to kind of save the box, and you can put it back in if you need to, but I like that. I like the idea that they don't make you destroy the box to open it. But then you had this little tray, and it had like, 1, 2, 3, 4, probably like 6 different things holding the figure onto the plastic, these little plastic tabs. So just kind of silly, but anyway, here's a figure. And it does come with a couple of things. You got the collector's card, which is actually really nice and thick. Again, I don't understand why Takara Tomy doesn't include this and only Hasbro does this. It's good. I mean, it's really good quality, paper with like a plastic coating. And it's a nice card. I like having this. I don't know. I just don't understand why Takara can't do this when they make their Titans Returns figures. They actually charge more. They should be able to absorb this into the cost. Anyway, you also get this very tinily folded instruction booklet. It's pretty simple. At least it looks simple. I don't know. Here you got the Robot 2 tank instructions. And on this side you've got the cassette tape, or I'm sorry, it's not a cassette tape. It is a spy tablet. So you go from spy tablet to robot mode. For me, it'll always be a cassette tape. That's what this guy was supposed to be. I want him to be a cassette tape. So I know they're trying to, get him updated into the current times, but I just feel like, why? Why change what he was? It's supposed to be a throwback, right? Alright, that's it for the instructions. So let's get onto the figure. It does come with this little gun here, and you can stick that into his hand. And that's actually kind of cool. It's really long and thin, so it's a little weird, but whatever. It works. As far as the figure itself, you do have a couple of painted parts. You've got the painted red up here, painted yellow. The Autobot logo is tampoed. Actually, this might be tampoed too. You got painted silver on the legs and on the feet. The feet do fold up. I like the fact that they thought about having a little foot like that. Gives a little more stability. You get a sticker on the back here, which is for his spy tablet mode. You have a little bit of red paint there. You got a red Autobot logo there. So not bad for the size of this figure. Oh, and then of course his face. You got the painted blue eyes, and you got the painted red face mask. So that's about it for paint on this guy. As far as articulation goes, the head is on what looks like a swiveling block, but then he's also got rotation, so you get all the movement you would ever want on the head. That's nice that they we're able to incorporate both of those joints. The shoulder does have a butterfly joint here. That's part of a transformation. He does have a rotation on the bicep. He does have an elbow swivel and a elbow joint. It gets basically exactly 90 degrees there. You do have this kibble on the back, which is kind of not so good looking, but straight on, it's not too bad. You also get a ball jointed leg here that kind of goes in every direction. He does the full splits, and yeah, pretty good figure so far. You have a ball jointed knee, so you get more than 90 degrees there. And you have a little bit of a toe tilt, but it doesn't really do anything for posing wise. It's just for transformation. But you can get some nice poses with this guy in terms of his articulation. He really supports some good posing. Actually, I think he's just as good as the Masterpiece. Well, we never got a Masterpiece Rewind. The best we got was the one with Transistor. And that one had a lot of metal on it, so this is just as good as that, I would say, if not in terms of articulation better. But what really bugs me, and this is kind of, this figure was cheap. It's $14, but why? Why can't you fill out the arm here? It would have been very easy to have a molded arm. Just, they needed this tab for transformation because these two things kind of fit together, right? The tab somewhere, I'll figure it out later. There's something that sticks into there, and so they needed that hole. But you didn't need to leave this whole arm blank. I mean, that's just lazy molding. And I looked at the Takara one. The Takara one's like that too. So I really don't understand it. Why do this? How much money are you really saving on that little bit of plastic that would have covered this up and made it look that much better? You've already got big chunky block arms, so why not just fill this out? God, it's so little. It's so cheap. It's such a cheap decision to make. But overall, a very, very nice figure. I do like the articulation. I like the paint. I like the color scheme. I think it really does look good. And let's bring in Blaster here. And as a companion figure, he really does go along pretty well. Let's just back out a little bit here. Yeah, so as a companion figure, he really does fit in well with Blaster. I think he's kind of a good match. So we're going to get this guy transformed into his tape deck mode or spy tablet mode, whatever, and then we'll see how he fits with Blaster. So we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back from transforming. I actually do like the way this looks. I mean, they kind of kept the old tape deck look with this sticker here, although the sticker is not applied that well, but good enough. But then it's also a tablet, so I don't know how this is a tablet. I guess I don't understand why they chose to make this a tablet, or what's the significance of having this as a tablet instead of a cassette. And I guess I can kind of see that this is a tablet, but it's got holes in it and stuff. It's just not a great. It's not convincing as anything, really. It's not convincing as a cassette. It's not convincing as a tablet. I don't really know what it is, but the cool thing is that it fits in Blaster. So you take out the default filler chest piece here, and then you can put in the cassette. I believe it goes in like that. Oh, let's try the other way. There you go. And it fits in great, and it's a nice addition to have with this Autobot Blaster. I really love this figure. This is like one of the best Titans Return figures that's come out. I know Six Shot's coming out. I probably won't get Six Shot just because I'm not a collector of that figure. But yeah, it fits well. It looks nice. It goes in there. And I do want to transform this guy into the tank mode. It's pretty simple. I mean, this whole transformer is pretty simple. It should be. I mean, given his size and everything, shouldn't be complex. So I looked into this. There's no reason why this is this way. It didn't need to be. It didn't need to be hollow here. I don't see any advantage to doing it that way. So I'm pretty disappointed with that. I don't know why they chose to make it that way. This is pretty tight, by the way. It really didn't serve any purpose at all. Yeah, it doesn't tab into anything. I thought maybe it tabbed in here where that hole is, but it doesn't. And then these two things don't tab together either. So they just kind of sit on top here, and they kind of attach to the side. And that's it. That's your tank mode. You know, kind of lame, kind of cheesy. And then this gun, it does kind of fit right here, and it's got tabs. I think so it can go up and down a little bit. Yeah, it can go up and down a little bit. I mean, that's not horrible. It's just, it's not what Rewind was. He wasn't a little tank. And it's cool that you get the extra functionality. I like that they gave that to you, but well, for what purpose? Does it actually serve any purpose? I don't know. I don't know if it does. For me, this is kind of silly. It was extra functionality they didn't need to work in, and I think the arms suffer a little bit because of that. You know, they're really chunky and blocky. I prefer him in the old-fashioned tape mode, like that. I will say that the joints are nice and tight on this. It's not. I was expecting it to be loose because it's so cheap, but it's not. It's not really loose. It's okay. So yeah, this is okay for me. I prefer this, except I hate the fact that again, you've got parts that are not molded. They didn't need to do that. They could have filled this out. And why are they different on both sides? They could have made it the same, but they made it different. I don't get it. Why did they mold these two things differently? You know, these could have been molded exactly the same way and assembled the same way. I don't understand it at all. There's these two little things on the left arm. I don't know what they're for, but they don't seem to serve any purpose. But that's it, guys. That's really all this guy has. It's not a very advanced transformer. I mean, it is cheap, so you got to take that into account. It's not expensive. I do like the way that the chest converts like this. That's kind of neat. That's neat little touch there. But that's really it, guys. So as a companion figure for Blaster, I definitely like it, and the price is right. You know, $14 to have this guy with Blaster. Great pair together. I wish they made some other ones for him. I haven't seen any. I don't know if you know that there's other figures for Blaster, you know, companion figures. Let me know. I haven't seen them release any Blaster figures like Rhino Horn. What's his name? I forgot his name. He's a rhino. And the Lion, Steeljaw, and a few others. I haven't seen them release those. I'm hoping they do in another wave of the Titans Returns figures, because it would be nice to have the other cassettes to go along with, you know, my Masterpiece collection. I've got all the cassettes for Sound Blaster. It's not Sound Blaster. I always say that. Soundwave. I have all the cassettes for Soundwave, and I don't only have this one for Sound Blaster. So it'd be nice to get the other ones. Anyway, that's it. Next review will be, well, it's kind of a race at this point. We're either going to get the X-Transbox Eligos, if it ever comes out. I know they're making more changes to the production copy. We're also going to be taking a look at the BB7 Toys Starscream and BB7 Toys Thrust, which is their version of the Coneheads, and I know they made some changes to the mold, so that's going to be exciting. So we're getting that, and also We are also getting the, it's probably going to take a while, but the Grapple, Takara's Masterpiece Grapple, I believe that's next year sometime. So that's a little ways off, but coming up sooner is the KO Thrust and KO Starscream figures. Alright guys, leave me any comments and subscribe and like if you like my videos, and we'll see you next time.